You all will know Father Roy from his work with School of the Americas Watch. He really needs no introduction. We're very honored to have him here to open this event tonight.
Thank you very much. Some of us in our SOA Watch movement are working on a documentary about a great peacemaker by the name of Franz Jägerstätter, an Austrian who refused to fight in Hitler's army. He was married, had 4 little girls, was sent to prison and later executed for refusing to join that effort of the Nazis. In one of his letters from prison, he talked about empire. He said, if you go back in history, you will notice that when another country, a powerful country, goes into another country, it's never to bring anything. It's to take their rich foreign lands, their ore, and their oil. And this is what we have done as a nation, the United States. We have been the empire for so long. And we got a better feel of that, living what it means to live in the empire by going over the last 2 years, 3 years actually, to 15 countries of Latin America, representing our movement, the SOA Watch movement, to meet with presidents of Latin America, defense ministers, human rights leaders, indigenous leaders, and others. And we heard so many of their stories. And they often refer to our country as El Imperio, El Imperio. And that relationship that we have had with Latin America for all these years, that vertical relationship. And they reminded us that we have been in their countries to exploit, to take, to oppress, to enrich ourselves like the conquistadors from before. And right now there's a sea change taking place in Latin America. The poor, who make up the vast majorities of these countries, are saying basta. They're organizing. Their consciousness has been raised, and they know a lot about El Imperio. And they're more united today with their leaders. And what we heard in our visits was something very clear and simple. Our country is welcome, pero no como antes. Not as the conquistador, not as El Imperio. If we can go in as a partner in their development at this time of their own country's development, bienvenidos. If not, stay home. And they reminded us in many different ways in all these countries that we visited, there at the universities with indigenous leaders and human rights leaders and others, that we are returning to the empire. And they really challenged us with the basic question, what are we to do here? They were very encouraged in a way. It was good news to know that there is this big movement in the United States trying to close a school that has caused untold suffering and death to their people, called the School of the Americas, known in their countries as the School of Assassins. And they know that this school is but a symbol of our country's foreign policy. And they also know that we are trying to shut down this school that supplies the men with the guns. But what we're really after is to change U.S. foreign policy in those countries. And so we are here to reflect on a very, very serious issue, this issue of militarism, empire, the men with the guns, and how our country has been a part of that process, part of that exploiting, part of that taking. And I think the basic question we all have to ask, what are we going to do? We who live in the empire, to walk in solidarity with our sisters and brothers of Latin America, who have been the victims of the empire that we live in.